the chickens this morning standing in our existing internal chicken run next to our original chicken coop that we built like 10 years ago when we started out with 6 chickens. Now the chicken coop has seen better days. It's starting to get to the point where we need to build a new coop. We're expanding our flock and we're going to start on the process of giving our chickens a new coop. So excuse all the noise. The reality of having chickens is that if you're in with them, they're going to follow you around and they're going to be talking to you. So I just wanted to go over some of the things that we like from our original coop. We have a pop door inside a larger door, and we can open the pop door from outside of the chicken run area to let them out in the mornings. And the door opens to let us get in and clean the coop out. We have their perch. We actually have 2 perches. We've got 3 nest boxes. It's screened up above, so it's very short. One of the things we're looking forward to in the new coop is having a coop we can just walk into that's full height, that's a lot bigger than the coop that we currently have, and it's going to give us some options for storage, for setting up a brooder, and for having more chickens if we want to. So this is the outside of the chicken run. We have a door where we can come right out in the mornings to get our eggs. We configured the coop originally to allow us to have windows that open for ventilation. And we can prop those open. Hello, Mrs. Chicken. Another thing that was nice, when we come out in the morning, we can just open the pop door using this pulley and hook it, and that keeps the pop door open. Egg collecting, super easy. We made our nest box attached on the outside, so all we have to do is lift this up and I can reach in and collect the eggs. So it makes it super easy. I can just pick up whatever we've got for eggs. I can check on it periodically throughout the day. And I don't have to walk through the chicken run to collect my eggs. So that has always been a nice feature. We do only have 3 nest boxes. In the new coop area, we're going to have 10. We are setting it up so that we will go in to collect the eggs. But it does give us a lot more room so that we're not having our chickens deciding who's going to get to go in and lay an egg, and it makes sure that they get into a nest box to lay their eggs instead of laying their eggs in our orchard or in random spots.
So this is the space we're going to be using for the new chicken coop. This is the backside of what was our workshop. We had gotten a shed a few years ago that's 24 by 12. And it was actually meant to be kind of a 1-car garage. We had to transport it from its original location to our property. So it's a kind of a second-hand shed, but it came with some nice amenities. It had electricity was already in, and pretty much we just had to move it to where we wanted it on the property. We're not using the whole space as a workshop though, so it was kind of a waste. So we're cutting it not quite in half. We're thinking about putting in a wall at this end here, making this a 10 by say 11 internal space. The ceilings are about 9 feet high. And this wall here faces our orchard. This is kind of where the chickens are already running around, and that's where they go during the day. So we're going to put in a double door over here. I'm going to put in a separate pop door similar to what we have on our existing coop that works on a pull cord. I'd like to have that lock when it comes down, just to make sure we don't end up with any predators in here. We do have bobcats and coyotes and foxes and raccoons that would all love to get into the chicken coop at night. So that's a locking door. The double door would also be a locking door, but that would make it a lot easier to clean this out. We use a deep litter method, and we use pine shavings. So we want to make sure all that's kept in. So the door between here and the workshop, we want to make sure that we have a threshold just to kind of hold that stuff into this area so we're not dragging our mess into the workshop. This back wall, we're thinking about where we're going to put our perches. This wall over here is the darkest wall. That's probably where we're going to put our nest boxes. And in our front corner over here where there already is electricity, we're thinking about that's where we're going to move our brooder. Just convenient, there's already an electrical socket in the area that we can plug heat lamps and things like that into. But that's about it. The next step is going to be building a wall to separate the two sides. Marilyn came up with a great idea. We didn't want a door that swung into the coop because of all the wood chips. They just get in the way. I didn't want the door to swing into the workshop because I'm already now limiting myself for space. So having a door swing in just would make things really tight. So she said, is there a way we can make like a pocket door, a sliding door? That way it's not sweeping into the chicken coop or sweeping into the workshop. And we can still have our threshold. We can close everything off. And we'll see what we can do. We'll put up a wall. I'll get that framed roughly. I'll put the electrical back on that wall and we'll try to make some kind of a pocket door. I've got some old screen doors that we had from our porch. And I have a track with wheels that mount to the top of the doors. That was, we replaced my parents' closet doors a few years back. I saved their old doors. I don't want to use those hollow doors, but I can replace the door and still use the track and the wheels, and maybe I can come up with some kind of a pocket door frame. I'm not going to buy a pocket door frame. We don't buy anything around here. We're going to try to use everything we already have. So let me try to whip up a wall real quick. I'll try to get a pocket door built, and then I'll bring you back and show you what we have. And once this area is kind of its own space, then we can start discussing what we have in mind, and then also we're going to work off of what you put down in our comments. Any great ideas that you guys put in the comment for this new space, we'll definitely give you a shout out, and we'll try to incorporate that into our new chicken coop. Well, I got the wall put together, at least the frame part of it. We did come up with a way to do the pocket door, which was a bear. Now I know why people go out and they buy pocket door frames, because making one is not fun at all. But I put the electrical back into this wall, so we have our plug for where we're planning on putting the brooder. This is all framed out and ready to get some kind of a siding put on it, something easy to clean for the chicken coop side. And then I'm probably going to do plywood on the workshop side, just to make it so that I have something strong enough that I can hang tools and things like that from. This was the screen door that we used for the pocket door. What I'm probably going to use is like a rabbit wire on it. That way it's breathable, but it keeps the chickens out. And then maybe on the workshop side I could make like a removable panel so that it's not constantly open, but I could open it to maybe put a fan in the doorway to air things out when we're cleaning it. We're also planning on putting a fan up in the opposite peak to exhaust humidity and also dust and dander and things like that out of the chicken coop. But here's the frame I came up with for the pocket door. It opens 32 inches wide, so it's nice and wide. And I put a threshold in to keep all of the pine shavings in the chicken coop side from making too big of a mess on the workshop side. And then at the bottom of the door, I just put in flat molding to act as a rail, so that way the door is nice and solid. and we'll come up with a latch type lock for it, so that way we can make sure it stays shut. Not that our chickens are gonna be able to push open the door, but you never know. So here's the beginning of it. Just got to get this closed up. Marilyn's got some ideas. She's probably going to come in here and have the walls up before I know what's going on. But when this is all closed up, we'll be able to have a much better idea, a better feel for the space. And we'll start building out our perches, nest boxes, building a door and cutting a hole in the side of the shed. Building the pop door, I'll show you how I did that on our other one with a locking mechanism and a pulley system. That way I can pop the chicken door from outside of the building as well as inside of the building. But yeah, pretty excited about putting all this together. We've got not a lot of experience. We've had chickens and our old chicken coop for about 10 years, so we know what we like and what we don't like. And we're going to try to incorporate the things that we really like into the space, and then we're going to get some feedback from you guys and see what works best and what didn't work for you, and maybe you can convince us to do some different things in this larger space. Well, the wall from the workshop side has been put up, so it gives us a better idea of what we're working with here. The space is 9 feet from the door to the back wall by 11 in width, with plenty of height. So I know we're going to be insulating and putting interior walls up to keep things easy to clean, and we also have some pretty cold winters, so we want to have insulation. But aside from that, we still have to put in a door, we still have to put in the pop door for the chickens, we know we're going to need roosts, we know we're going to need nest boxes, all of that's got to get built. If any of you guys have suggestions, like you really need to do it this way, it's worked for us for years, it's the best way to do it, or maybe there's something you've always wanted to try and haven't had a chance to do it yourself, suggest it down in the comments. We're going to be running mainly off of our experience, what we've done in the past, and off your comments, and we're going to be building this out as a multi-part video series. So let us know what you want to see next, and we'll start whipping it up for you, and we'll see you in part 2. Bye.